Today I will do the Q&A session, and I received many questions from ex-SCJ members and also from those who didn't experience SCJ. And since I received many questions, I will divide this session into 2 or 3 and I will answer all those questions. First one is, what were some special announcements made last year and what did they say about the 144,000? I have printed the announcement last year which mentions about 144,000 and I translated those in English. I will just read the parts which mentions 144,000. Dear 12 tribe members, how are you? You will be well aware of what the book of Revelation tells about Shincheonji. And you will know this era is the time when the new covenant, the book of Revelation, is being fulfilled. And you might already know what is the fulfillment of Revelation. For this will and purpose, many people suffered and shed their blood. If a person knows much, he or she becomes arrogant. If a person has one's position, it is easy to go beyond one's power. That is why it is said in the Bible, be humble, be humble. God's will and purpose were to fulfill the revelation. Satan must be seized, sin must be eradicated, and human must be born in God's seed and be sealed as new creation in new era, as a new nation and new tribe. We must become God's image, then God's will is achieved. Among the 6,000-year history, there was no one who had the highest knowledge of the Bible than SCJ. That is why in Revelation 14 says, only the sealed 144,000 can sing the new song. We are given our duty. We must do our duty. Now is the time. Let us fulfill our duty. This chance will not come again. The work which God, Jesus, the Word are willing. Thanks to Mr. So, who is the leader of law department, and we must help. God, Jesus, and angels are working. Let us work as well. This was an announcement from Chairman Manhili on Shincheonji year 37, so last year on September 17th. And the next announcement, which was on November 5th, it also talks about 144,000, but there's a thing which we have to have a closer look at. I will read the announcement. Dear Shincheonji family, how are you? I thought once 144,000 is sealed, good time will come, but unwanted great turmoil came. When the disciples asked Jesus, will there be many who will be saved or less? He answered, salvation is at the end of narrow path. Let us be loyal with unchanging faith until the power of the world returns back to God. This is what we can pay back to God. So their slogan for Shincheonji year 38 was something regarding unchanging faith. And he mentions that phrase inside this announcement. And the point is, he mentioned, I thought once 144,000 is sealed, good time will come. But unwanted great turmoil came. So he's basically saying that already 144,000 is sealed. And the great turmoil would be persecution from Christianity or COVID-19 situation. But I think he's mentioning about the COVID-19 situation, that they cannot evangelize and their reality being revealed to the world. And also including persecution. In my opinion, this is the point where ex-SCJ members and also those who are still inside Shincheonji should think about, is that Manhili, he sometimes mentioned that the great multitudes in white cannot live forever in flesh. But at certain time, their doctrine or their teaching has been changed that the great multitudes in white can also live forever. Also, the another point we can think about is Manhili, he nowadays even commands believers to prepare for the test to be sealed. So this means there's no 144,000 who is already sealed. So what we should think is, why is his word changing? Sometimes he says 144,000 is already sealed, and now he's saying that you have to study for the test in order to be sealed. Have you met any celebs? I have only met Korean celebs, so I don't know if you guys will know. I met few announcers in some public places, and if you like K-pop, you will know QnA. When I was in high school, I bought their first album and was invited to their autograph event, so I got their signatures in the album. Former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Korea, Mrs. Kang. I met her too because she visited my university and gave a speech, and I was there. Did you get to see Manhili in real life? Elaborate. Not in my own eyes, but I have some of his personal pictures. Since I worked in H2PL, so they sometimes shared us some daily lives of Manhili. And at that time, it was a blessing. But after I left Shincheonji and saw those pictures again, I was really angry. I really wanted to erase all those pictures, but I still have those pictures. And one of those pictures were him dancing in front of the Peace Palace. It was on December 2018, right after he announced Shincheonji members to pay 1.1 million Korean won. And he was happily smiling and dancing inside that video. And I had to pay that money because I didn't have fruit at the time. So when I looked at the pictures and videos when I was in Shincheonji, I somehow didn't feel good. But I comforted myself that since the promised pastor is that much happy, I'm fine with it. Does Manhili really believe his own rubbish, or is he just using it to gain power and glory in having many bootlicking, unfortunate souls following him? Actually, I'm not sure. Only Manhili himself will know. And sometimes I feel like he knows himself that he is deceiving people just like he suffered in the past while he was in other pseudo-religions. But sometimes I also feel like he's really into it. Like he 100% believes himself that he is a promised pastor. The latter one would be a serious mental illness, and he should find the doctor or please bear the cross and die. How is Manhili's wife viewed in the congregation? Does she have an important role? Congregation members do not really care about her. Are you interested in your church head or tribe leader's wife? I was not interested. Manhili's wife seemed to be nothing in congregation's eyes, just the wife of the promised pastor, but it wasn't. I found out that Manhili's wife, Mrs. Yu, embezzled 3.2 billion Korean won within 8 months from September 2015, which is actually what members offered as an offering to God. And she had 48 bank accounts. This proves Mrs. Yu has a power among Shincheonji, which no one from Shincheonji member actually knows. In which region were you recruited by Shincheonji members? I'm Korean and I was recruited in Korea, capital city which is Seoul. My acquaintance recruited me. I was not recruited on the street. Do you know how the money gathered in the US and other countries outside of Korea is handled? Is the money collected and then distributed back out to pay for evangelism activities? I have no idea about this. I'm also curious about this because they use different currencies. Did Lee Man-hee actually ask Kim Nam-hee to divorce her husband and marry him instead? Yes, this is 100% different from what Shincheonji teach to their congregation members. They say Kim Nam-hee had purpose approaching Lee Man-hee, but actually it's the opposite. What Kim Nam-hee said after she left Shincheonji is that Manhili kept asking her to bring her money in order to build building, temple, peace palace, and buy their land and etc. And if you see these pictures, you can see that they actually look like real husband and wife. This is a picture of Manhili and Namhee Kim visiting Manhili's ancestral graves. And this is a letter which Manhili wrote to Namhee Kim inside the abalone. And this is the picture of their Korean traditional way of marriage. picture. And here it mentions someone called Cheonjong. Manhili kept asking Nam-Hee Kim that he wants a child between them. The name of the son should be Cheonjong. And this is the letter which Manhili wrote to Nam-Hee Kim about asking money. And this is Manhili's prayer list. He's asking to God what is the priority for him to beg for. He has 3 lists within his prayer. First one, God's work. Second, his health. Third one is when daughter of Nam-Hee Kim gets married, then Nam-Hee Kim should be divorced in 6 to 7 months. And then she should marry Manhili on October. The promised pastor's prayer list was like this. This is written in Shincheonji year 28, so 10 years before from now. Manhili promises to Nam-Hee Kim that she should marry Manhili within 1 year. And he's saying that we both, which is Manhili and Nam-Hee Kim, should become the light and create God's kingdom, the world of light and people of light. And this is a promise in front of heaven, which is husband, and earth, which is wife. The problem is Manhili had different few people whom he dated in the past, and you can see the pictures here. So he had his wife, Mrs. Yu, his real wife, and he had another girlfriends and another wives. And these are the pictures of Nam-Hee Kim and Manhili having their beautiful time during the peace tour. Last question for today's session. What tribe were you in? And do you know the current number of the members? I want to keep this as a secret at this moment, but I believe some will already know which tribe I'm from. I don't know the current number of the members, but I'm sure the number is decreasing.